Straight Loud Entertainment. The Album Review Club. This is week number like 12 or something. I don't know, but gotta get my brothers in here. Big Full Woo and Foo. Foo and Woo.
That's us, man. It's the one and only. Nobody does it better.
The bald-headed bandit.
The dread-headed bandit. Look, man, I didn't come up with all that stuff, man. All I know is that you look like a criminal.
You look like number one. You click on.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. We can keep everything on an even keel. We can keep everything nice and calm, cool, collected.
Hey, man, that's the one thing I respect about you, man. You got the cleanest haircut. Everything on your head is even killed.
Don't look. It's my T-Pain. Hey, oh. Even worse. I'm phone. This man ain't got no hairdo.
Per usual, we waiting on Cheddar to find his internet access and access it.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how it happens every week.
Wait, really? He's really doing this again? You gotta stop stealing his internet from his neighbors, man. Hey, man, turn on. Let me use that plug right quick.
I'm gonna let 40 go ahead and get all this out of the system as much as possible.
It's like back in the day, you gotta get off the phone first before you get on the
Get off the internet. Get off the internet after I talk on
the phone. Who's downloading something? We gotta turn all digital devices off. Internet ain't working right now. I remember how hard it was to explain to my parents.
Look, man, this might be a little bit of a spoiler
alert. What's up, man?
Hey.
Oh, shit.
He's here. Hold on, now I gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Where'd Justin go?
Okay,
anyway, it's your boy T-Pain in the building.
Let's go ahead and start the live.
Coming to you live. Joining the album review club. It's your boy CPZ. Welcome. Today's episode brought to you by Nuvo.
He went all out with it. Sheesh.
What up?
I'm just working on trying to get 40 back in here.
I mean, don't try too hard. Don't try too hard. And that me and you, we're definitely doing live in 2024, and Cheddar is
CPZ.
like the album we're reviewing. It looks like he's doing it for 2006. It's like, dude, it's like you have spot bad internet. It's like your internet is only bad exactly where you are.
Oh, really?
Man, we say that, but 40's somewhere in purgatory right now.
Look, man. Live troubles of today.
I say we go ahead and do this. Go ahead and start.
Before we do, we gotta give a big shout out to the Wisconsin gear.
Hey, shout out to Wisconsin, baby.
Yeah. You look at Abraham Lincoln? Oh, snap.
Oh, wait.
4 scores and 7 years ago, T-Pain dropped a bang.
4 scores. I dropped a bang.
Okay, why has T-Pain ever done an Abraham Lincoln album?
I don't think so. I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
I mean,
I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't think T-Pain has ever collaborated with Abraham Lincoln. I don't think so. I don't think he ever dropped a double album. I don't even think he ever dropped a reference album. Nothing.
Hey, T-Pain, drop an album called Dead Presidents and do 40, 50 songs. Just do a song for each president.
All right, well, per usual, like we do every Sunday, go ahead. This is my cup for the day. You know what I'm saying?
All the
So go ahead, drink.
H2O.
Oh, well, that's actually kind of fire.
H2O. Why does it look like a soap ball?
I don't know if you can see my ice cubes, but my ice cubes go hard too.
Oh, you got a square ice cube? This man got the square ice?
Nah, they skulls.
Oh, buddy.
All right, but
We have a skull ice.
yeah, I got skull ice.
Respect that. Very Halloween of you.
Yeah,
Dude, how
we
much
might
is
go
it to
use.
get that?
But all right. So on the 10th it is Mental Health Day, and I feel like we extended it to the month because we feel like this is a very important topic that needs to be touched on in all communities and all aspects of life. So for this week, I chose to do Epiphany by not by Cheddar, by T-Pain. So this is my mental health album for the month. And the teller to tape, real quick. This is to kind of set up. This is kind of when T-Pain started his prime, and when he went on his prime, he exploded. He blew up. He was on everything. He was on the radio like 50 times. Every song, but like one or two songs on the radio at one point was T-Pain. So this is when he kind of started his run during the mid 2000s, and it was the second studio album. It debuted at #1 on the top 200. Hey, chill with the Nouveau, bro. It ain't all that.
I ain't mad at it.
Uh, he started selling 171K first week. It went 2 times platinum with 3 singles, which were "Buy You a Drink." It went 7 times platinum. "Bartender," which went 4 times platinum, and also had a Grammy nomination, and which went gold, which randomly popped up as a single. But that's a quick tell to take. And shoot, like I said, 2007, 2008 T-Pain, that boy was on fire. He was on fire during that time. And when I first heard this album, it just always lingered around because as soon as I heard it, I was like, dang, this is, for me, I already knew it was gonna be a classic. And honestly, I feel like it held the test of time. Some of the songs, like some of the classic singles on it, I feel like were average songs compared to some of the other songs on the album. So, I mean, that's just a quick take of how I feel about the album. One of my favorite, one of my classics. It's an A+. I'm gonna get my rating off rip A+.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass it to since he got the most sense today.
um, yeah, man. This is like you said. It was right before he took off. This was the beginning. Like I think literally like "Buy You a Drink" is what sort of kind of catapulted him out into the stratosphere, atmosphere. I don't know, man. Out there is when he sort of it was a stamp on the game. But like I haven't listened to this. I haven't gone back to this album specifically in a long time. So this was a good chance to kind of go back and revisit some feelings and see how I feel about it now. But I'm passing Fuller. Give his little opening thoughts.
I remember this album came out. I remember just listening to the singles really because I probably still wouldn't identify as like a T Pain fan. I think I have T Pain songs that I like and I still play to this day. I think he is like a legend in his own right, but as far as like me personally being a fan, not really. So going back and listening to this album, without giving away my rating, it's about what I expected. Like it's about what I expected. Yeah, it's about what I expected.
Going kind easy on him. He going kind easy in the booth on this review.
Say anything yet?
You know, I gotta say, like, from listening to this album, I didn't understand the love that y'all had for T-Pain to the extent that you guys have always, like, whenever it was always, like, with y'all, just the amount of love. But knowing how he is from this album and how he is as a Twitch streamer and all this other stuff, like, just his personality when he does his, like, live stuff, I'm starting to, like, I just start to respect him more as an artist because I was back in the day hearing all the negative stuff about T-Pain, and I was probably affected on that negative stuff. because there was two people who liked auto tune and people who didn't, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of hearing more of the hate of T Pain without really paying attention. So I was just like, all right, guess people don't like him like that. But then
That
hearing
sounds
you guys,
about 40. That sounds about 40. That checks out.
it's the nature of the game. But I will also want to put out that this Epiphany album has one of the most. It's like the album art is very 2007. Like it just feels like that whole like this is like a good era of like a how an album at that time period looks to me. But anyway, that was it. Like it was also listen to this album while driving in my car through the city. So I was going to concerts and I had to go and drive through the city every time, and it'd be like perfect like nightlife kind of vibe, and I'd be going to and back, and it gives you a good feel when you're driving like late at night. I feel like this album really does have a certain place in my heart now because of just when I listened to it. But I'm gonna go
So you
ahead
said this is the
and
first time you really listened to T-Pain, right? Is that what you're saying? For the most
yeah,
part?
yeah. Outside of the singles, because you couldn't get away from T Pain like
Yeah.
back
Oh
in
yeah.
that time frame. It doesn't matter where you were at. You could be chilling in the library. You might hear buy you a drink out with you randomly, you know. So it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like, if anyone was like, I don't know who T Pain is, I'm like, how young are you? Because there's no way that you have gotten through, certain eras without having heard him, right? But no, I'm gonna go ahead and let Wu start this off again. Go ahead, player. Would you
But
like?
yeah, I personally identify as a diehard T Pain fan, I guess you would say. He's one of my top five artists, and he can do
Wait,
little wrong
word?
already since
Wait,
one of my
wait,
top
wait.
five.
Word?
Yeah,
All right.
calling
I
my
didn't say
bluff,
it.
son.
Wait, I'm
You,
not. I
you,
didn't say anything. I'm just like, oh, okay.
and,
All right.
This just turned
and
into a poker room out of nowhere. This is like,
I,
I
is
feel like
that
I'm
actually
playing
what you
spades.
I,
I was like,
Hey, let me get into it so y'all understand, man. So a lot of it comes from, of course, Cheddar. He basically wanted to be T Pain when he grew up. So, yeah, always being around him. Like I've known him since elementary school. So as soon as T Pain was introduced, he turned into T Pain. had my I had my own 6'4" version of it, but at the same time, once again, we was downloading all that music during that time. You couldn't escape T Pain music at all. So you start listening to it over and over. You're like, oh, this is cool. Plus, he incorporates so much of the stuff that I like when it comes to just like different types of beats, different types of drums. He got regular drum lines on some stuff. He switches up. He can sing. He can rap. So it all kind of like meshed well together. Plus, he threw the auto tune on top, which started a whole new debate, a whole new tier of rap music. It blew up the whole industry. It impacted it,
hey,
it
yo, get
changed
off
it.
his
And
dick.
was that the mental health? Is that you fell in love? Is that how? Is that what,
You like, and that was the first time I fell in love.
but now,
T Pain taught me
but
what love is.
but no, that's just the basis of how I became a T Pain fan, and that's one of the reasons why I chose this album for my mental health. Because every single time I find myself in like a down place, I'll pull up "Sounds Bad," and then usually by the end of the song, I'll feel a little bit better because it pushes your mind to like, I guess times could be harder. So that's kind of how. That's kind of where it got me because every single thing up here, it pushes you through a whole range of emotions. Even some you like, I can't really relate to this, but when you take out the hard part of the song, the actual topic of it, I can kind of relate to it. I'm just, I want. You see a fine bartender, you like, what I'm saying. Let me go get a drink. I ain't gonna tip though. Oh,
I thought you were talking about I got it for a second. Like I was like, I hope you can't relate to that one.
I was, but I wasn't gonna dig deep into it. I swapped it up. But yeah, Cheddar. What was some of your favorites off of this?
um, yeah, and just doing that too, because like T-Pain, yeah, T-Pain is like one of my favorite artists for sure as well. Like ever since I heard Rapper Turn Singer, like that was one of the first albums I played nonstop throughout the night. Like I go to sleep listening to Rapper Turn Singer and wake up listening to Rapper Turn Singer. It's like from the jump. I was a huge T-Pain fan. But some of my tops off this album, some highlights. I'm going to leave out Bartender and Buy Your Drink because I feel like those go without being said. You know what I'm saying? It was understood. It got to be said. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
But Show You How is a mega top for me. Like I found myself like as I was re-listening to this, like times I wasn't listening to the album, I would just be humming like Show You How. Like it's just the beat was just coming to me and like I just singing the rhythm. It was a pretty big highlight for me. There's not a lot of lowlights. But like, let's see. Sounds Bad was another one that I thought was pretty decent. I did enjoy like the fact that it sounded like it was like a live band. I don't know if it was a live band or not playing like the doing part of the instrumental, but like sounded like it. Tipsy was another good. Tipsy actually was a song that I feel like could have even been on Three Rings. Like the production of it sounded like a little bit because like well I'll get to that I guess more so in my low lights, but like it sounded like a little bit different from the rest of the album where I felt like it could have easily fit on Three Rings. Another highlight for me in general was just the fact that like every song on this album was written and produced by T-Pain. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't happen I don't think often unless you talk about like a rapper who has a producer background. Like Kanye might produce every song on his album or something like that, but like I don't think that happens very often when you have an artist produce every single song on it, unless you're talking about someone who's grinding and can't like afford to pay for real producers. You know what I mean? Like maybe their first before their debut album, you might see some stuff like that. But like he really put his foot in this album, top to bottom. But yeah, Time Machine is another. Time Machine is another. I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but Time Machine is another highlight for me. It kind of it's like a nostalgic song in general. Just make you think about simpler times. So I appreciate that joint. Especially when you think about mental health, just kind of kicking back and listening to that. Like, man, I remember when times were simpler. It's makes you feel better. But yeah, I'll pass it on to Fulo. Give your highlights.
All right, bro. We're gonna keep it pretty fast. Highlights are Church, Tallahassee Love, Show You How, Bartender, Buy You a Drink. It sounds bad. So I went into this album and I was like, hey, so we're gonna give this thing a listen. This is probably gonna be a classic. And I was like, all right. So I remember hearing Church off from like the Step Up or Step Up 2 soundtrack, and I was
Yeah.
like, I was very surprised that was T-Pain at all. But I remember hearing that and I was like, okay, this is pretty dope. But going back and listening to it this week, I was like, yo, this song is like didn't get as much as love as it probably should have got. This song's actually kind of fire. Tallahassee Love, I never heard that one before, so I was like, okay, this is pretty solid. Show You How, dope, dope, dope. Bartender, I've always had a love-hate relationship with Bartender because I thought it was highly repetitive and like there wasn't a lot of content there. And I felt like it was like a sequel to Buy You a Drink or a prequel, but at the same time, it kind of works on its own. Like it's still one of my favorites from the album. And then, of course, Buy You a Drink. Come on, we don't even need to talk about that one. Legendary song. And Sounds Bad. I remember playing like Sounds Bad, like Wu said, like back in college when things were a little bit rougher than they are now. I remember playing Sounds Bad and being like, you know what? I remember playing Sounds Bad on the way to work because I'd be riding to work and I'd be like, yo, first of the month, check lady. I'm like, I know the feelings. I was like, this is what it feels like. It's like, shoot. But man, like I really, I thought this album was solid. The highlights are very, very strong. And but stay tuned because I don't have nothing but compliments for this album. There's some this
You're gonna
this
make
might be
T-Pain
the
cry
this
in the
might be the
studio.
second or third album or the first of a 940 album. Might have to slide on, bro. Might have to go the ham on, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Wait and see. I
But
can't promise it. I'm
but
pass on
no.
the floor.
But no.
Hey,
Well, let me slide in real quick. I don't know why, but I also love 69. That's one of my jumps.
I thought you were just making a statement right there.
That is, oh, the song, not the well. It's classic. It's one of my favorites. But
All right, I'll go into.
Legendary position. I mean song.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, come on, man. What's next? Backseat action? Just because it's like it works really well with 69 beat. Come on, but no. But all right, so let me go through it. Church. I'm not going to go through Church because I agree with what Fullo said. I really like Show You How, and just going to agree with what what Chetta said, showed you how like Church is a great secondary song. Like it picks up pace. Tallahassee Love is really good. It's not part of my top, but it like sets a good precedent for the album and shows his versatility and like what type of sound he's going for. Then Church switches it up like a little bit. Like it just goes into this like it kind of reminds me of I Know Myself or I Love Myself with Kendrick. You know which one? No. It's like I
I
love
love
myself
myself.
and I'm thinking of me. No, that one right there. Yeah. So it kind of has that kind of beat, which is kind of crazy. But
You gotta get.
obviously, T-Pain did it first, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna sing it. I'm not gonna sing.
I
But
thought
let
you
me
didn't
go.
like Michael
Okay,
Jackson.
all right.
I thought you didn't like Michael Jackson.
We're not gonna let that
But
slide.
I'll be honest, right? I don't know if I actually like Yo Stomach, but I really do like that song. Like, I just, I didn't expect him to just be like, guess what, guys? Here's my preference. And he just goes right into like a girl's stomach. I'm just like, I guess he's just making a song right now. And that's what I kind of started liking about T-Pain. Sometimes he just will pick a topic and then just be like, I'm gonna sing about it. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. And I also like Shadas. Shadas kind of it's like in a good spot because it kind of like things start to like taper off after reggae night and then just goes right into Shadas. And I'm like, okay, cool. And that's kind of my highlights, you know? But that's pretty that's it. I'm gonna go in. Let's go in here. The bad stuff. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead. Bear bad news.
so like Fulo said, don't worry, I got nothing but compliments. So if I had to choose, and this is definitely nitpicking. And I kind of saw this and kind of agreed to it when looking at the critics reviews and stuff like that. Sometimes when you have well, not even sometimes when you have T-Pain, it's like you have like jokey type songs, and then you get real serious. Like, whoa, how did we get to this point? And we kind of got that when you get to I Got It in Suicide. It just kind of like flip the whole mood. You're like, whoa, but luckily he gives you a interlude to lead up to the next song. Like you just not and show you how, and then the next song, something bad happens. You feel me? And then he kind of does it again when you get down to Shadows with Reggae Night with the two girls like, man, fuck T-Pain. Like it switches up the mood because you come straight at a 69 into Reggae Night. So that's the only flaw that I had because when I re-download this album to my phone, I had every single song up here already on my phone, but those two songs. And I feel like good songs when I go back and listen to them is just weirdly placed. I feel like you can move the album around, still be a classic, but ending off of Sounds Bad. I mean, you ending off with one of my favorite songs of all time. I can't get mad at this album at all. I will listen to the whole thing to get to the song. And there we go. We'll make that a flaw. They put Sounds Bad at the end of it, and we had to listen to every single song before that just to get the Sounds Bad, which I feel like is one of the greatest songs of all time. But Cheddar.
Um, yeah. I definitely put like it does. You get some whiplash listening to this album sometimes, because of stuff like that, like the Reggae Night and I Got It. I distinctly remember even like when this album first came out. I think you're the one who brought that to my attention actually, because I think I skipped over that completely. You're like, yo, he's got a song where he talks about having AIDS on it. And I was like, wait, what? And you're like, and I remember being like, there's no way he's got the entire skit talking about having AIDS. He's like, yeah, it's up there. But some other little for me is like sometimes some of the production on this album sounds like washed. Some of the songs sound like washed out. Which I don't get why, because at this point with it being his second album and him being like attached to like convict, I think this was still through convict music or whatever. Like there should have been a decent level of production on it that the song shouldn't sound washed out. So that was like another little bit of a low light for me. Uh Specifically, some of these songs, like "Right Hand" is another one. It's just questionable because like I didn't get what the song was about. Like I'm sitting here listening to it, and he's like, "Oh,
Wow.
like even specifically, I wrote down some lyrics that he said where
So,
he's like,
oh,
he had my
let,
heart, huh?"
let, 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 let me give you a quick breakdown. His girl found out he cheated, so he was telling her
But I
before
mean,
she before well, my fault. He cheated, and so I guess someone found out that he cheated and was about to tell his girl, so he told her
I
first.
get like I get the chorus of it, but when you go to the actual verse, he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. What happened was I was driving down the street and I saw this girl walking down the street and I
He
pulled
he
over."
was he was telling her how it happened.
But like he's like, "Oh, she was crying because her boyfriend beat her, so I decided to have sex with her." What? I don't understand. I don't understand how this works. But anyway, it's
I don't
whatever.
understand how it works. That's how he explained it.
It's just like when you actually listen to the breakdown and lyrics of the song, I was like, "You're not. What are we doing here?" Anyway, and then I guess this is on the expanded version actually technically, but like let the
Mm.
bass drop. I don't know if y'all heard that one, but that song was
Yeah.
was 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 God. I felt it was damn near sexual assault. Like listening to T Pain breathing in my ears, I was like, bro, what are we doing on this song? But that was a definite low life. Like that's probably the only song I couldn't get past like 10 seconds of. I was like, bro, this is I can't do it. But other than that, yeah, those are my low lights.
Hey, I'm gonna throw in since you talking about expanded. The Kanye version was
Oh
trash.
yeah, no yeah, that should never
Yeah.
been
It
anyway.
was garbage.
Yeah.
Just let's just add the expanded.
I never even listened to that one at all because I remember how garbage it was when I first heard it. So I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna give this song a listen to. I'm good.
It did not need to exist. Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and go, bro, because I'm gonna keep this match short. So, low lights, right hand, backseat action, 69, time machine, your
Wow.
stomach. Also
Flag on the
honorable
play.
mention.
Flag on the play. You gotta elaborate here on some of your issues with like what's your issues with backseat action?
I thought it was a boring song. I was like, yo, this song is. Why is this song on this album? I was like, especially hold on, I gotta make sure I got it after Bartender. Which, let's be
Mm-hmm.
fair, I don't know how many songs would have been okay after that, but that was like, I was like getting turned. I was like, yo, you got church, you got tips, you got to show you how, you got blah 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 blah, and then it goes to backseat action. I was just like the fuck. So it's like, I think this is boring. It's like it kind of killed the mood. However, I'm waiting for my like actual score to tell you that section of the album itself was like I came in really holding against backseat action. But Time Machine, funny enough, is also in that section of the album, and then also Yo Stomach, funny enough, also in that section of the album. It's just like it hit this low point in the middle of the
Another
album.
flag
I
on the
was like,
play. As a man who's talked so many times about women with abs, you don't like stomach. I can understand me being like, man, fuck that song stomach. But like,
now I was thinking
man,
about it. I was like, I
he's.
wonder if Kofi was like, T-Pain, you betrayed me. You betrayed me.
I'm just surprised that you personally would not
it
like
was.
that song when it's all about women with
Because it's
abs.
not about
8 pack, 4 pack.
content. I say this all the time when I go after J. Cole. I don't care what the song is about. I care about how it sounds. So the song's gonna be about bullshit. But if the song doesn't sound good, I'm out. And he just hits this point, this low stretch in the middle of this album where I'm just like, bro, this shit's a tough listen. Like now I understand why I only
This
have like
nigga's
5 or 6.
crazy.
Now I understand. Now I understand why I only had like 4 or 5 songs saved from this album. I was like, this shit is rough. Anyway, let me get into why those songs are bad. So like, right hand, kind of like what you said, Cheddar. I listened to that song like twice, and I was like, I'm good. I was like, I don't really know what this is about. The song itself is not good enough for me to like dive into it and try to figure it out. I was just like, I'm just gonna. All right, this is. We're almost done. We're almost. It sounds bad, so let's just let's just let it ride. Then backseat action and right hand. I don't know, bro. Like it's hard for me to describe this album, describe these lowlights, and why I have such a problem with these lowlights without giving away my rating. Because it's like I don't even know if it's a fall off. I don't know what it is. It's been such a weird experience. I wasn't expecting this from T Pain. I've never listened to this whole entire album. I've listened to a lot of different songs from this album. I never listened to the album as like a cohesive body of work. And man, was disappointed. I was disappointed, like by far. But that's more about the review. I'll pass it to 40 for now. But you guys kind of already know where this is about to head. It's about to go to some real dark places. It's about to go to some real dark places, bro. Go ahead, 40.
I'm actually a little scared because so I don't actually disagree with your points at all because there's parts where like I don't really remember right hand, like it just kind of fell off for me, right? Where you just and I think that is a problem with this album
Okay,
is
one more.
sometimes
Wait, hold on. My bad. One more. And here's the deal. I was trying to be nice and not actually put this as a low light because I don't think it's a song. It's like a very long interlude. But I Got It was like such. If you listen to that song and you're expecting it to switch to a song at some point, it's like 3-4 minutes of my life just gone. I was like, I was expecting something to happen from this, and I was like, oh no, this whole section of this album is a phone call and some rhythmic chick in the back. Go ahead, Forty. I
And
once again, I just want to put that. Now,
Jump into that.
mind you, that was the lowest point in my listening experience for this album, and I didn't even put that as a low light because I was just like, I'm not even gonna do them like that. It's technically not a song. It gets worse. So go
Okay,
ahead, Forty.
okay.
just to piggyback off that real quick, it's just because it's interesting because like I feel like on Three Rings he did something similar like right before that. I don't know if you know the song Therapy, but right before that it's about like some guy calling me like, "Hey, you cheated on your girl? I cheated on your girlfriend or whatever." Like, but it works so much better because the whole thing is a joke and it goes right
Yeah.
into Therapy, which is a better song. So like it fits better. Like I don't understand why he brings in this such a serious thing in the middle of the album. It didn't make much sense, and the song wasn't good enough to pay off for that random skit to throw in there. So it's like. Whereas if you look at Therapy and a similar kind of thing that he does, it fits so much better. And plus the whole, I don't know. But anyway, go ahead,
I
40.
mean,
Oh my
I
bad,
mean
my
that
bad.
might be
We've
like
been
as
holding
you.
40 up. We've been holding
Well, no,
40
no,
up. Go
you're
ahead,
good.
40.
You're good because when he put that down, right? Like he did say that T Pain did produce and like write all these songs.
Yeah.
So maybe T Pain didn't really have somebody just look it over and go like, maybe you don't need these, right? Because like I Got It doesn't really serve a purpose other than making you think that T Pain has AIDS or something. And then you search it, and everybody goes, I don't know. And you know what T Pain has not done? Said anything about it. So like we don't like no, I don't know. Does he? Does he not? Why would you instinctively put that in your song? And then like was it trying to appeal to anything? Was
I think
HIV
it
like
was
prevalent
literally
during the
just so he could say he has it in suicide. And be like, oh, I'm suicidal because I have AIDS. It's literally, that's the whole purpose of the skit. It's just
You know what?
so he
He
can
didn't
say it
need
in suicide.
suicide. He could have threw that away. He could have
Could have.
threw suicide away.
He
Literally, he
could
could have
have.
made suicide have a suicide. I mean, so those are already like two lowlights, like because it's just back to back. Why would you even? Why would you even? Everything else on this was fun and happy, and then he's like, I might have AIDS. Also, now I'm sad. I might, and I'm like, all right, cool. Then it goes into so a lot of the songs that like Fullo put in, those are things that like other than Yo Stomach, I just like Yo Stomach just because it shows T
Oh,
Pain's fetish, and I thought it was
back
funny as
is
shit.
back.
But Reggae Night, I didn't like. I think he wanted to
Oh,
go
yeah.
and have it go into Shadas, but I just didn't. Sometimes during this time frame, people would just put interludes just to have them. Sometimes, at least that's how it
He
felt
did.
for me. Flag, go ahead.
He,
I'm
he
gonna play
did.
on the play because I could be wrong. We have to rewind the
He
tape.
did.
But I
Because
swear you put Reggae Nights as one of your highlights, yo.
No, no, I said Shadas. Shadas. I said
Shot us?
Shadas. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Shadas.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay, okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Because
Go ahead, go ahead.
I don't like his interludes because they're not really necessary, right? Like I feel like some of his songs are so like so the way he does some of his music, the songs could be interludes by themselves. So it doesn't really need to have interludes because he could just do like a whole thing with just songs that are interludes. But anyway, that's my three negatives. Because a lot of the other stuff I can kind of do with or without. The things that I liked and the things that you guys liked, I relatively was on it. I did the
let me
extended, so most of those extended songs I didn't really care
hold on,
anything
let me
about. But
make sure I heard this correctly. You said Reggae Night doesn't go in the Shockers.
wait, one more
What
time.
you say? Did you say Reggae Night doesn't go in the Shockers?
Reggae Night. No, I said Reggae Night is like I think the reason I put it is so that he could bring Shadas and kind of change the vibe. But I don't feel like he actually needed to have. He kind of wasted like 7 to 8 minutes with just I Got It, Suicide, and then Reggae Night. Which if you took those off the album, I don't think the album would hurt at all. Like I don't think that would just mean that you get the sounds bad that much quicker, right?
Unpopular opinion. You take those songs off the album. Don't even know if the album really improves.
Oh,
Yo.
whoa, that's interesting. All right, I'm
I'm
gonna
about
end
to
my point
slide,
right
yo.
there.
Corey,
Go ahead,
hold
go
on.
ahead.
We gotta pass it back. We gotta pass it back
I'm
to Woo real
confident.
quick.
Here's a baton. Take it.
There
Kazoo.
you go. Woo. Go ahead. Go ahead. What's
It
point
sound
rating? Woo. What it is,
you
bro?
already know
What's up?
A+. If I mean, shoot, I give it an A+. I can deal with down parts because I can just skip it. So A plus.
Wait, hold on, wait. We can't
and
do
for
that.
for
We
for
can't be
and
like,
for the record,
we
I
can't do that where it's just like, if you skip the bad part of the album's fantastic.
um I only reason why because I can give an argument for Suicide, Right Hand, and Shotters for being on the album. So I gotta give it A plus. I mean, bias all around. Call it what it is, but I can deal without those songs. I feel like it would make it better, and then we'll have to come up with a whole new tier. But I still give it an A plus because I know about every single word off this jump, from the top to the bottom. I could probably quote the interludes too, which I don't even care for. So A plus. I'm staying on business, Kofi.
You got eventually, not now. Eventually, we gotta stop holding that against each other.
But uh, I mean, I, I agree with most of what you said. I don't see it as suicide. Suicide's the only one I'm like I don't see as excusable. But other than that, no, I do think it's solid. I think it's impressive that he did like produce this album top to bottom. I the highlights I think are pretty high for me. I wouldn't give it an A plus. Partially because I do know I feel like what he becomes right after this. I feel like this and then the Epiphany, not Epiphany, my bad. Revolver, I feel like are two mega smash albums. That I feel like I can't give this one an A plus for. I give it an A minus. Stuff like Suicide, I feel like it really holds it back. Um, I feel like the fact that it feels kind of somewhere between a B plus and an A minus. I feel like that the fact that some of the songs sound a little washed out kind of hold it back as well. But like and he hasn't hit that level like right after he evolves he hits that level of swagger where he's like, I'm untouchable, I'm T-Pain, I can do whatever the fuck I want and it's gonna be fire. Like and that's A plus. That's the new tier. That's the new tier right there. That's where you got to go above A plus, and it's like, oh man, this guy's gone insane. But so I give it I'll set it out an A minus. That's where I'll stop. I'll set it out an A minus. But actually no, I'll let y'all. I'll go ahead and give it to you. Who's it? Full up. Go ahead and give your rating, man.
All right, man. It's not gonna be an F. I give like a C minus, a C. I think that this is like. I think that it is. I was wildly disappointed. I remember we were talking a couple weeks ago, and I said something like Three Rings was my favorite T-Pain album. I thought that was like I thought it was like a fantastic. It was like hyper fun. It was up. It was like as you just said. It was like him like really aware of his powers. He's like, no, it's like it's really hard for me to make a bad song. And he wasn't like that on this album. On this album, it was like, no, it's very possible for you to make a bad song. It's very possible for you to make a bad decision of what to add to the song, add to the album. It's very possible for you to waste like a lot of time. Like again, like this
All
lull
right,
in this
this
album.
nigga tripping. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, he's mad. Oh, he's mad.
This nigga just
Oh,
making shit up at this
he's
point.
mad.
He don't
He's mad.
Go ahead,
Oh,
boy.
he's
Give me some
mad.
shit so he get up out of here,
He
man.
hit.
Hey, buy you a
I
drink
gave his praise.
alone
Wait,
I
wait,
puts
gotta
the
hear
album
his
at
shit.
least a
Oh boy,
B.
this nigga just talking crazy, man.
Wait.
Go
Hear me
ahead,
out.
boy.
Hold on. So can I black man speak? Can I black man speak? Yo,
I feel
Not
like
what I'm
buy
saying
you a
is
black
drink
man talking.
alone.
wait. So let me explain my rationale.
Ain't none. This nigga listen to
Along with
party music. This nigga ain't listen
there
to
being
music.
more bad songs than there are good songs, which is an automatic like fail for an album. Let's be very clear. Along with that, let's be very clear. I named 5 or 6 songs that I fuck with. There's 17 fucking songs on this goddamn album. It's just like, so I'm sorry I couldn't find 9
I don't know
to
how
make work.
you
Does
don't
the
like
rating go
Suicide.
worse if you go and use the expanded?
You said what?
Does the rating go to like a D if it's
Here's
expanded?
the deal. Here's the deal. This is the grade without the Kanye Bayou train. If you want to go expand it, that
This
immediately
is
drops
the
it to
better
a
version.
B. But I'm
Where's the
not.
better version?
But let me explain my rationale before y'all judge me.
Ain't no rationale. 40. What's your
No.
rating?
Let me explain
Oh,
my rationale.
you know what? It makes sense.
No wait.
We got 2
That
dread
drop
heads and we
off.
got one that doesn't have dread.
Hold on.
Makes all
That
the
drop
difference.
off from bartender, backseat action, put it down, time machine, yo stomach. it killed the album for me because then I heard By You Drink. I was like, all right, I already know I'm not like fuck with the song. And then it was 69 Reggae Night Shadas and Right Hand. I was like, it's like back to back bad section of the song with Buy You a Drink in the middle and then sounds bad at the end. I was like, I'm good,
All
bro.
right, this nigga
Yeah.
tripping.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
I
What's
have
your
a,
Yeah.
I have a question before
What's
though.
wrong? What's
Polo,
wrong?
Polo, do you not? For me, whenever I like listen to an album and there's bad songs, but there's like really good songs, sometimes those can kind of cancel each other out. Like,
Yes.
so are you saying that?
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. A song can only be so powerful.
Gotcha,
It's just
gotcha.
like Buy You a Drink is a legendary song. And let's say I forgave the 4 mediocre to bad songs that came before it. I then heard 3 more bad songs.
Okay, gotcha. That's just like it
It's
goes A,
like let me say
B,
that
C.
let's
Gotcha.
say Buy You a Drink is an A plus 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 plus.
Mm.
When it's surrounded by D plus, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do when it's just like we have one? I'll be like this.
40?
If this,
Go
like,
ahead, boy. This nigga
let me.
still
He asked me
talking.
a question.
You
He asked
doing
me a
more
question.
talking than you
If there,
usually do. Hurry up, nigga.
if there were 17 students in Mr. T Pain's class, and like 4 of them were like got like B's or A's, but the rest of them were failing the class, you wouldn't go to Mr. T Pain and his evaluation and be like, "You're doing a great job." So
Well,
you'd be
I
like,
gotta ask another question then. Woo, in the words of T Pain, Shawty, how you think about how you think about
what do you think about that?
that?
Oh, I'm gonna pull it. Either way, it's still gonna be an A plus. It's not because I got dreads. It's not because I like T Pain. It's still gonna be an A plus in my
All right.
book. I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas say.
Well,
But
I'll go speed up my one because so
I ain't gonna sit here and change my grade because you don't like it full of. I don't care what Kobe thinks. It's not his favorite album.
oh,
Hold on,
I'll say
hold on, hold on.
I'll say
That is
straight
the
up
biggest T
this
Pain
this
fan.
album from like a first time listener kind of deal. I give it a B because I think T Pain's one of those guys who really figures out his sound, and there are times where you just might not be interested in hearing it all the time. And the problem is that this is 17 to 20 songs of just T Pain, and a lot of times you do just get like, I'm about to talk about a girl's stomach for like 4 minutes. So just sit down and relax, and you're either gonna like this or it's not gonna be a fun time. Which
Boom,
doesn't sound. I mean, in
boom.
this kind of climate, T Pain, you gotta be careful about doing that, man, because there's a lot of.
So we can excuse
but
all that shaking and
but
all the
no,
titties,
but
but
like I
nigga
can.
talk
But
about some stomach. It's
but I will say, so like this album's kind of like a B for me. I think for the predicating this off of the fact that this is like a mental health awareness. I think there's a lot of positivity on this album. I think that T Pain does a lot of like he does a good job with like kind of light like making things a little bit lighter, a little bit more goofy. And then though I really don't like I Got It in Suicide because I feel like he does like because It Sounds Bad is something that you can really relate to. That means
Because it's trash.
yeah,
It's trash.
yeah, and spoiler alert, it's not good. But I feel like he shows that he knows how to like relate to people. But sometimes it feels like in this album at least he doesn't know how to harness it. So that's where I give it a B. But yeah, no man, I think that this album was fun to listen to. You know, when you're kind of like trying to get yourself hyped up and you're just driving around and getting ready to go to a club or something. This is a really good album to play. To Fulo's point, there's only like a handful of songs you're really gonna play. Everything else could kind of either stay or stay off of it. But no, that's kind of it. I think it's a B. I think it's a solid B.
I
Like,
just want to piggyback off Justin 40 real quick. It's just because you said that part of what you said, Mark, because like about how this is a lot of just T Pain, which is I feel like that's part of the reason why Three Rings kind of sort of blew up the way it did, is because Three Rings does have a lot of features on it, which
And
even
wait,
if the
wait, and
features
also
aren't
let's
that
be clear. Let's
great,
be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Expertly placed features. It wasn't just like he just threw people up there. Like some of those features were just like they made those songs.
hey, but it also got that washed out. It also got that washed out sound too on Three
it,
Rings. I don't know why
it does,
I'm saying washed out shit.
it's really weird that he had that sound. I'd argue that it fits a little bit more on Three Rings because of the whole circus element of the album. I guess you could say, oh, well, maybe this was recorded at a certain. I don't know. There's something that you can play into, like this is a concept album. It kind of sort of works with that. But like, it's weird that he didn't. He had that sound up until Revolver, because Revolver. That's one of the reasons why Revolver sounds so good, is because like it doesn't have that washed out sound to it. But um. I, I mean, I can get into the reasons why, because I think part of the reason why Robert didn't pop is his rollout was terrible for it. But we can get into that another time. Um, but like, yeah, I just think it's interesting that just looking at the. I think because I spent a lot of time listening to all three albums this week. I spent a lot of time listening to Epiphany, Three Rings, and Revolver. It was a good time. I had a good week. I'll say that.
Hey, maybe you hate Epiphany even more.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Cheddar, what album did you become like a true T-Pain fan of?
From his first song, literally
Rap,
from
Rap
Rapper's
Return
Single was one of the
Saga?
first songs.
Okay.
I throw it on like front to back. I'd fall asleep listening to it, just playing it all because like it was a mellow, low key song low key album where like even though it had heavy beats, like the beats, the instrumentals to them were soft. Beats were hard, instrumentals were soft. That makes any sense.
Was this one
But
of those
like
like guys that
that's from the jump.
So when you heard T-Pain, you were just like, this guy, was it like that you just really liked his sound, or was it like this guy, like, was it the
I think it
content?
was. I think a big part of it was right at the time I was really getting into downloading music in general. So then like I heard Armstrong, I was impressed by the sound. I downloaded the whole album and I was like, I like all of this. Like even I remember Dance Floor was a song where it's a really poppy song that was on the album that I used to play it for people all the time. Hey yo, listen to this, listen to this. I'm on the dance floor. And I was like dancing around and shit like that. People like, man, get this bullshit out of my ears, man. I'm like, yo, listen to it. Just listen to it. So it's like I've been a T-Pain fan from the jump. Like
Okay,
everything he
I
put out, I was
respect
like, I love every single one of these songs. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. Bro got me hooked from the jump.
it. All right.
But yeah,
Shout out to T-Pain for having his #1 fan out here.
damn man, we out here. Wisconsin.
I respect it. Thank you for telling me. I was always curious.
Yeah. Just because they didn't really come up with this. I don't know if y'all know how Jock got on the buy you a drink, but it's somewhat of an interesting story. But it was like what happened was apparently they were at some party or something like that, and Lil Flip was there. This is back when Lil Flip. This is shortly after Game Over and
They call me Little Flip. I didn't know that right song.
Anyway,
Right
and
song.
apparently T-Pain came through, and like it was T-Pain and Jock, and they're like, "Oh shit, there goes Lil Flip, man." And T-Pain was apparently a big fan of Lil Flip, and he walked up to him and was like, "Hey, put it there, buddy." And then like Lil Flip just looked at him and was like, "Nah, I'm good," and just walked off. Right, so Jock was like, "Oh man, that sucks, man. I know you just got played like that, but you know what? Let's go out later. I'll buy you some drinks, whatever. We'll get it popping." So they went out later. Young Jock bought him a whole bunch of drinks. Cut to a couple months later, T-Pain's making this album. He's got Buy You a Drink. I think originally like Stat Quo or somebody else from Atlanta was on the joint. And he said, you know what, Jock, I love this song a lot, but like you're the only person in my life so far that's ever bought me some drinks. So how can I make a song called Buy You a Drink and not put you on the song? So lo and behold, Jock recorded his verse, they put it on the song, and history was made.
Such a T-Pain story. Such a
Although
T-Pain
T-Pain denies that it ever happened. Jock is the one who told the
Yeah,
story.
Jock's the one that told the story.
Does
T-Pain
T-Pain also
denies it never
deny his
happened.
age? Dun dun dun.
Hey, shout out Taquan. But shoot, that's Epiphany right there. Next week in this mud lover, we got a Fullo's album, mental health album.
All right, bro. So I'm kind of torn. I'm gonna give you boys the option.
Now,
Do you guys want to listen? Hold on. Do you guys want to listen to an album that came out like within the last 10 years or within the last 20 years? That's kind of
Can I guess it? Can I guess the
So
album?
what?
I think I know which one you're gonna pick.
You're probably not gonna guess it. So let's not even.
You said like, it came out 20 years ago.
No, I said either in the last 10 years or the last 20 years.
I know
This is an option.
which one the last 20 years is. Cowboy Bebop original soundtrack. I got you. Don't
All
worry
right.
about it.
So which one is it, Kofi? Hey, Kofi, what's your vote, big dog?
I don't even really care. Let's say 10 years.
hey,
Okay.
if y'all in here, y'all go ahead and put a 10 or a 20.
Yeah, tap down too, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm going to give people a little bit of time if anybody want to chime in. I'm going to tell you
Hey,
why.
hold on. While we give people some time, give Justin's hair a compliment.
You're not gonna be able to
Should
do
I keep my hair or should I go bald?
your hair would look better if your camera didn't work.
Hey, I kind
But
of
no,
wanted to
look,
cut the
bro.
sides. Cut the
I'm
sides.
gonna tell you. So
We
I'm gonna
got
tell you why.
we
I'm gonna tell you why.
we got 10s, we got 20s, 20, 10, 10, 10, 10.
I'm gonna say why it's between these two albums. So one of these albums is like a legit, like I grew up and I was just like amazed by like how like accurate it was depicting like my mentality for years. Like this wasn't like, oh, this is kind of accurate for like, I'm having a bad week or I'm having a bad month. This album was like, yo, this album describes kind of how I feel for like years and years and years. And the other one is just one where it's just like I hit this point a couple years ago where I was like kind of in like a coasting or like a groove where I was just able to like do the things in front of me no matter if it was hard or if it was easy. I was just able to like process it a lot better. So I think I know what album. I gotta choose it. Kid
Pick a
Cudi,
fool.
Man on the Moon.
Oh,
Kid Cudi, Man
Wait,
on
which
the
one?
Moon.
I'm not surprised.
And this
Kid Cudi,
Man on
Man
the
on the
Moon
Moon.
and
Man on the Moon for me is like.
I,
Oh,
So I'm gonna go ahead and tell
I like
y'all
to
what.
point out this nigga said that it was a boring part on Epiphany. He gonna pull out some man. But
Oh,
yeah,
no! I said it was boring. Wait! I said it was boring and bad.
full of.
So it's
Hold on, are
like
we doing
it was
extended? I mean,
boring
are we doing the
and
deluxe?
bad. You said
Are we
what?
doing the deluxe
Oh
edition
my
or are we doing the regular?
God! So here's the deal. Let me go ahead and look at the copy I have. We're gonna do the. Oh yeah, we gotta do the expanded one because they got TGIF by Chip with Chip the Ripper and TGIF is. Thank God I'm fresh.
Yeah.
We gotta do that.
Chip
Joint
the
first.
Prejudice.
Ripper.
But so here's the deal. So
It's the
this
biggest
album is
rate.
like, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all right now, I'm gonna give this straight up A or A plus, mainly because like it's like every song up here in a
Spoiler
different
alert.
way hits like a different part of like my mentality.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like also just the fact that like he showed the fuck out on this album. Like that's the thing. Like people forget that like there was a period in time where it's like right before Drake and Kendrick and all these other motherfuckers, Big Sean, and all the other people stepped out. It was kind of the age gap was almost growing, where it was like you had Kanye, you had Wayne, you had like a bunch of older rappers who were like still rapping, and like the new kids had not come up yet. And around this time was when like Wale and Drake and Kendrick and everybody else started dropping. Kid Cudi was like the first one of those like of that ilk to have like a major release, and this was like majorly receptive. Day and Night is a classic fucking track. Day and Night is a classic track. But yeah, man, this is one of them joints for me, bro. Also, side note, the other album I was gonna mention was actually gonna be Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist Alfredo, but I ain't trying to do it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go back and forth with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Thoughts, questions, concerns, what y'all thinking? Hey, well, I see on your face.
I'll add that.
Don't let my words about T-Pain's album
nigga, they
make
don't.
you
This is
disgrace a classic.
nigga,
Like don't disgrace kid.
dang,
Don't
dang, you
disgrace
gonna let me
man.
talk, nigga? Dang, let me talk. You gonna ask me a question and then
My
start
bad.
answering?
My
Damn, let a
candle
nigga talk.
wasn't lit. My bad. My candle wasn't lit. I ain't gonna talk right now. Go ahead.
Hold on. I light one for you. I light one for you.
What a
Hey,
surprise! He has a lighter
hey,
at the ready.
um, uh, back during my time, I had this album also. You know this because you roll with me, nigga. I play this shit all the time.
Right here in my dreams, yeah.
So yeah,
Let's also point out this is when Kid Cudi was really doing the ooh yeah ooh.
yeah, he gonna ooh yeah your ass asleep, but
Hey,
but
guess
yeah,
what?
you
Hey,
right.
sometimes people need to go to sleep.
Hey, this is one of them ones, man. This is definitely another classic album, so I can't even get mad at this one.
You said another
But
like we hold
of
up. You
course,
said
that's
another like we reviewed a classic recently. What are you talking about? What's the last classic we reviewed?
Epiphany by T-Pain.
Your Honor, he's lying again.
Hey, but not 40 was capping on the last one, sure.
Oh, okay. We gonna
Not,
talk about it. We gonna
Wait,
talk
what?
about it.
we're not gonna talk about. It. We're
Which
not gonna
one?
talk.
You know
We're
what?
not gonna talk about.
I don't know. Maybe this is family business. Maybe we should do this off script. But I'm just gonna voice my concerns.
Don't do it.
40.
Don't do it. Don't do
40.
it.
Yeah.
Say you like Neo Soul, bro. Say you like Neo Soul R&B. Enough's enough.
No,
Enough's
I
enough.
always said I like neo soul. I just said I didn't like R&B, which is a very specific version of
Watch this.
that, right?
Watch this. Everybody, watch this. This is how I check him. This is how I catch. This is how I catch his ass. You know what I'm saying? Got him. What's the difference?
Got him.
What's the difference?
Wait, what?
You tell me what the difference is.
I feel like neo soul is more jazz oriented, which I actually like enjoy that. So I usually tend to like the neo soul vibe and just kind of what it's always a little bit slower. It has the jazzy feel. Feels like there's like a smoky ambiance to it. Where R&B can kind of be more poppy, and I don't like poppy music. So I think I innately just don't like R&B because it's usually like R&B and pop music, and because pop music steals R&B stuff and then turns into a more mass-produced version of itself, I just tend to dislike it more, right? Whereas, like, when you guys recommended SZA and Shea Butter Baby, I can't pronounce her name right now. Aria Lennox, right? They have so much neo soul, and they blend it so well with the R&B style, or like it's because it's like I guess it goes together like it goes together like peaches and cream. Boom, 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 boom. But no, honestly, also shout out to Kofi for making me legitimately have a crush on SZA because I didn't. Though granted,
I would like to point out that he gave probably like the trailblazer for the category a B, but
oh yeah, I just don't like. As I said, man, that was complete bias. I just don't like Lauryn Hill's voice. That's just it.
Hey, sometimes I can't even get mad at that. That was a pretty. I mean, I think the explanation is kind of wrong, but if that's how you hear it, I can understand where that's coming from. As far as the whole Lauryn Hill thing, can't get mad at that either because once again, my man suggested an album that he loved. Like it was one that he said, "I'm going to stand by this. I'm not going to pull a cheddar. This is an A+ for me." And I slid on that album.
Yeah,
like I slid on that album. That album was dog shit.
Can I be honest? When you guys slid on it,
I remember during the review, I said something along the lines of, "There's like one or two songs I'll keep up here." Like the next day, I deleted the whole thing off my iTunes. I was like, man, get all this shit off this shit, bro. I deleted my search history. I was like, I don't want to be reminded of this album on my phone, bro. Yo, get this child. This is dog shit, bro. So I can't get mad. And it's like the same way he don't like Lauryn Hill's voice. I don't like anything about that band.
Yeah. No, I think that's completely fair though. It's like there's so much music out there that it's guaranteed that eventually we'll find something that we'll have common ground, and then we'll have things that we just don't like fuck with. Like I feel like if I were to go and put like I was going to for my own like spoiler, I'm not putting this album, but I was going to put D'Angelo's Voodoo as my helping me get out of things. But it was such I just discovered D'Angelo's Voodoo. So I was like, I can't really put it there because it's like saying I was going through some tough times. I just had Voodoo playing constantly, and it helped me get through the day. Because for some reason,
that would be applicable. It's not.
No, but there was an album before that was going through. It's just I was going through like relationship stuff, and then like D'Angelo's Voodoo just for some reason like that. He's had such a way with like
an album called The Computer Dork. And it's basically just the sounds of a guy hitting his computer over and over again. But his computer was flown in from Belgium. So it has a little bit of European inspiration to it.
Don't make me. I have a group that you actually might know them, Jay. Do you know Godspeed, You Black Emperor?
Yeah.
I know Godspeed from.
They're a Canadian band.
Yeah. Because I was gonna go and pick either one.
Wait. They're a Canadian band, but the problem is Kofi. Mid's okay. Mid just craps when mid's okay. They're not even bad. It's just
they're one of those things that if you don't fuck with them once you realize what they're doing, you're just like, this is because they got like 20 minutes something.
If Cheddar don't know him, he's the resident Canadian. Then they're not important. You can't.
It was before his time, man. It was 2000. Too young.
All right, we're sitting at about 58 minutes. Bring us home, big dog.
Hey, shoot, man, one of y'all, Cheddar, you got the whole get up. Go ahead and bring us home.
Sing it with your auto tune. Say it with your auto tune.
All right,
subscribe to.
I just turned this off. Hold on, let me see. All right, so this has been the album review for.
I'm not doing this. All right, I'll see you boys.
I got a remix for y'all.